Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever your time is. You are welcome to my live. I intended to come live 5 o'clock. I am a bit late, but that doesn't stop me from making this video. I wanted to make this video. I really wanted to do this. So I am live now. Thank you all so much for joining my live. My name is Gillian and this is Contemporary Views. We have a very important topic today to talk about. It really concerns us. It is like a plague. It is affecting so many of us. So I'd like for us to share a word or two about it. So you just give me a moment to share my life. Then we get straight into the topic. We have a very important topic today to talk about. It really concerns us. It is like a plague. It is affecting so many of us. So I'd like for us to share. So you just give me a moment to share my live. When you come in, like the video. When you join, you share the live. If you're not subscribed, do well to do so you would get notification when next I am live. Let's talk about paternity fraud. Paternity fraud. This ill greatly affects the men around us. The men suffer more with paternity fraud. It's mostly committed by the women around us. Hi there, you're welcome to my live. Thank you for joining. If you are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Gillian and this is Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trending issues. Yes, we discuss everything that is trending on social media. Where are you joining in so that I can greet you and greet the people of your community? Hi there. When you join, you like the video. If you've not subscribed, do well to subscribe. We have a lot to talk today. We are talking about paternity fraud. I want to believe that you know somebody who has suffered paternity fraud or who is suffering from paternity fraud these days. So do well to subscribe when you join the live. Do well to like the video. Let's talk about paternity fraud. Now, this is going to be an interactive live session. I need you to comment. I need you to tell me what you think about paternity fraud that is taking over our communities today. All right. Let me do my due diligence to welcome you all on Facebook. You're welcome on YouTube. You're welcome. Thank you all so much for joining my live. Do well to like the video. Do well to share the live. Thank you all so much. Now let's delve into the topic. I need to know where you are watching me from. Where are you joining in from? Okay. Royal J, thank you so much for joining my live. My name is Gillian. Where are you joining in from? I am joining Zip Your Uncles. Hi there. Thank you for joining. When you join, like the video. If you're not following me yet, do well to subscribe so you get notifications when next I'm live. Where are you from? Oh, I am from Cameroon. That is in Africa. Thank you all so much for joining my live. You're welcome. The topic I have today is a global topic because it occurs everywhere. I uploaded a video earlier today. Quad zipped. Thank you so much for joining my live. That's okay. You're welcome all the same. Thank you. Now, Stacy, I don't think your comment is very friendly. That's not fair. And I may look like Nigerian, but I'm not Nigerian. Sorry to burst your bubble. Shame on you. Yeah, shame on you. I don't think that Nigerian people are bad people. You tagging the Nigerians, I'm not going to read that comment. I'm not going to give you audience based on that. It's a shame for you to say that to my Nigerian audience. And I don't like that. If you know you're coming to insult people on my live, don't do that. We don't appreciate that here, all right? You're not better than the Nigerians. You should know that. Now, guys, back to the topic. We're talking about paternity fraud today. While I chose to do a topic like this is because it is everywhere. Rick, hi, thank you for joining. Where are you joining in? If you're not subscribed, do well to subscribe and like the video. Share the live when you're joining. Now, paternity fraud occurs all over the world. I went on my search. I saw so many videos, many of them. I watched videos from America. I watched Nigeria. I watched this one I saw from Germany. I saw so many videos out there where men are crying foul. Men are crying, they are in tears because they have raised children that do not belong to them. Now, let us be able to define paternity fraud. What is paternity fraud? Now, paternity fraud is when a woman is unable, either willingly or unwillingly, giving a child to another man. She's not able to tell the true paternity. It could be a mistake, but in most cases it is not a mistake. The women are fully aware that this child actually does not belong to this particular man, but they go ahead to give that child to that man. Now, what do you call that in plain language? That is called paternity test. This means that a child is being fathered by a man who is not his original or biological father. It is different when a man knows that this child is not my child, and the man takes responsibility in raising that child. But when the man is not aware and the woman lies to this man and the man takes care of that child and raises that child, it is called paternity fraud. So that is what we are talking about today. I know that it is not a new topic, and I know that it happens everywhere. People around you are crying foul. Now, what actually led me to make this particular video, because I did a sit-down video already. I think it is the latest video I uploaded today. But when I continued doing my research on this topic, I saw other videos that were so bad. You understand? I saw a man who has been married for 51 years. He's been married for 51 years. His children are 33, and then he has another one 44 years old. He's been fathering these children all through their lives. They are now adults. They are not even doing well in life, just like the man was saying, and then he is still supporting them even now that they are adults. And he said that he fell sick and went to the hospital and then needed an organ for the children to donate an organ to him. And when the doctors had to run the test, they now realized that that man is not their father. There was no compatibility. Can you imagine that? Big Grade says, yes, I agree so much. This is so interesting. Yes, thank you so much for joining my live. If you've not subscribed, do well to subscribe, and I need you to like the video. I need you to show me some love. Like the video. Now, the second video that I saw, still under this paternity fraud, is another man who has raised children for 35 years. He too was also sick, but he had a blood infection. And the blood infection has to do with age. He says that when you grow older, there's a likelihood that you will start manifesting the symptoms of the blood infection. So he had to go to hospital to know that, and then invited his children over. This time there were 2 girls. He invited his daughters over to run the same test so they can identify if these children have this disease. But to his dismay, he was shocked that these girls were not his children, because the doctor discovered that this man had been sterile all along. Now he has been raising children all his life in his marriage of 35 years. This is mean. I know that some women will come out to say that men cheat, but there is a difference between cheating and being guilty of paternity fraud. Cheating is something that you go there, you do your stuff, and then you leave. But paternity fraud is bringing back home something that lives in that relationship as long as the two of you are together. This is very wrong. We have our sons out there, we have our brothers out there, we have our uncles out there. Most of them are crying out because of this ill. At first, I thought it was an African thing, but no, it is not an African thing. I have a couple of videos. I need you to watch the video before this one. I uploaded that video today. I need you all to watch that video because I had about 8 instances, 8 different videos attached to that one video where somebody is testifying somewhere that he has been raising children that do not belong to him. This is something that is eating up the society so bad, and no one is talking about it. Women are responsible for paternity fraud. They are aware. Now, this is something that if we let go, we will suffer even more. You will find out that people will get married to their half brothers and half sisters without even knowing. Imagine a scenario where a woman brings in a child, and the father of that child is outside there with another woman raising another family. And then the child that that woman brought, someday meets the half sibling outside, they are going to get married. That is incest. We don't need to reach that level before we talk about this thing. It is an ill. So many women are fond of that. You want to get married, at the same time you want to live outside of your marriage, at the same time you want to be everywhere. Choose a position and stay. Choose a stand. Choose a place and sit your ass down. Usually they would say that free women or single women are the ones doing stuff. But these days, the married women are doing more. Now, there's also a case, I already posted that in that same video I'm talking about. There is a woman, she's been married for 40 years, and she has 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. One of them belonged to the milkman, the man who delivers milk to their home. The other one belonged to the handyman, and the last one now belongs to her husband. It means that 2 out of her 3 children were not her husband's children, and this man has been taking care of these children. This is bad. It is heartbreaking. No matter how you try to code it, no matter how you try to make it look normal, it can never ever look normal. It is bad. You cannot compare paternity fraud with cheating. There is no way those two can go. You cannot compare paternity fraud with cheating. Paternity fraud, you go outside and you bring something into your home, into your relationship, and then you tell a fat lie about it. And then you live with that lie as though it is the truth. Meanwhile, it is not the truth. The orchestrators of paternity fraud are women. Women are responsible for paternity fraud. It can never ever happen if the woman chooses to tell the truth. Now, the victims here are the man and the children. Imagine you living, say, 45 years of your life calling someone dad, and eventually someday you realize that that man is not your father. It is better for you to know that your father has passed on. It is better for you to know that your father rejected you. It is better for you to know that you don't have a father, rather than staying at home with somebody thinking that that person is your biological child, your biological father. Meanwhile, he is not. Women have to retrace their steps. If you want to be married, stay married. If your husband is cheating on you and you feel that you cannot take the cheating, walk out of the marriage. You can't use cheating. You can't compare cheating with paternity fraud. You cannot do that. All married women today, most of them, if you want to go, if you want to look, go in and look among their children. They have one or two who do not belong to their husbands. Now, who do these children belong to? Some of them get pregnant for their pastors. Still, in the video that I uploaded on my page and on my channel today, there's one man talking about his wife being impregnated by his pastor. Two children. They have two children. Both children belongs to his pastor, and it is the same pastor who presided over their marriage. It is the same pastor who presided over their marriage in the same ministry where they worship. This one, I read it. I watched the video. It is from, I think, Zimbabwe. Your pastor, the same person who preaches to you, who marries you to your wife, is the same person who fathers two of your children in your house. This is not right. When they talk about DNA, I personally, I believe that the least we can do, right, is have DNA done for every child that is born. Let us forget about the cost of DNA. I think it is a must, because the rate of paternity fraud right now is alarming. Guys, I need you to like the video. If you're joining in for the first time, my name is Jillian and this is Contemporary Views. On Contemporary Views, we discuss trending issues, we discuss everything that is making news. And right now, we are talking about paternity fraud. Married women no longer appreciate their husbands. Married women no longer want to stay at home and raise families. Married women no longer want to do the things they were called to do in marriage. Rather, they spend their time outside outsourcing other men because they are angry. Now, this is a mistake that we always make. A man can never be equal to a woman. Biology has made it so. Religion has made it so. Tradition has made it so. Life in general has made it so. So if a woman gets into marriage and then begins to equate herself with her husband, that if her husband cheats, she too must go outside and cheat, she should know that she stands the risk of bringing a child back to the family, and that is called fraud, paternity fraud. Did you know that according to research, at least 85% of married women have birthed children for their exes inside their matrimonial home? Did you know that? And that 90% of these men, I mean their husbands, will never find out that the children they have birthed from their lovers in their matrimonial home. They will only find out if there is a discrepancy, if there is a divorce case or something, or if somebody falls sick. They never get to find out. 90%. This is information that is not public. This is information that people don't tell you just because they don't want you. After all, the woman is the weaker sex. After all, the woman needs protection. After all, the man can do stuff, the woman cannot do stuff. It is appalling. It is shameful. It is embarrassing. For a moment, let us switch sides now. Imagine a woman marries a man and doesn't know that this man has children outside of marriage. The woman usually doesn't take it light. The level of deception is unacceptable. Let me put it that way. No woman will take it light that her husband makes children outside marriage. But yet, some of them go outside, pick these children, and then bring the children back to the house, birth these children to their husbands, nurse these children, and hide the true identity of these children from their husband, from the families, and even from the children. If you have the courage to go out and get pregnant, if you have the courage to go out and make out outside, why not have the courage to tell your husband that this is what I have done and this is the result? Desperate times calls for desperate measures. Right now, as I am speaking, I want to believe that we have important people in important places listening to me right now. If you are somehow related or concerned with the laws in your country and you can influence that, maybe you should start influencing the laws of your country concerning birth. Every child that is born should have a DNA test done, especially if the father owed up to that pregnancy. Yes, paternity fraud must end. It is an ill, it is a menace. I don't think a man will go through that and be happy. I don't think so. Some women will say that they deserve it, men are cheats. Yes, we understand. Some men cheat, but not all men. But when it comes to paternity fraud now, even the men who don't cheat suffer the most. Why is that? It is not supposed to be so. Women are always at the back end. They are always at the enjoyment end. They are always the victims in every situation, but in this one, they are not. Actually, they are the perpetrators of the crime. I want to believe that this also should be punishable because it's some level of stealing. Yes, you steal the emotional, financial, in fact, all levels of contribution this man would want to make to his children. You rob him of all of that and give it to another man's child. That is stealing and it should be punishable. Listen, women, if you are no longer comfortable in your marriage, please leave. In the case of domestic violence, you are quick to come out and run your mouth. In the case of the man not taking care of you, as he not providing for you, you're quick to come out and talk. What about you lying to the world that this child belongs to that man when that child actually does not belong to that man? There is this American program called Paternity Court. I watched that paternity court and I was so angry. I could not even imagine. There are lots of stories going on there. Lots. There is this young man, he's only 28 years old. He has 2 children by one woman. Now, this woman, there's a problem and the man divorces this woman and they want her to, she wants him to pay child support. So they went to paternity court to solve that issue. On reaching there, the judge requests for a paternity test. Lo and behold, both children, the 2 children, none of them belong to this man. And this man is a young man. He is only 28 years. It is bad. I don't think that man is going to go over that. I don't think so. It is bad. You hurt someone psychologically, you hurt them physically, you hurt them financially, morally. That means you just deal with them. Honestly. Now, there's also a fatal case where one man also discovered, this one happened in the US, he discovered before he could tell anybody what actually transpired, they had 4 children. The man deleted the woman and deleted himself. Now, that is somebody who could not take the pain. That is somebody who could not take the pain. Everyone is just silent. For what? Nobody wants to talk about it. Your brothers are crying out. Your children are crying out. Your sons are crying out. Nobody is there to talk about it. Does it mean it is okay? How can you even imagine? How can you even fathom the fact that you go out there, bring a child, and then raise that child in the presence of your husband, knowing fully well that this man is actually not related to the child? It's not like a single mother getting into marriage and comes in with a child and the man adopts the child. This is not adoption. It is not. There is a big difference between adopting a child and raising a child due to paternal fraud. Hi Ganesh, thank you for joining my live. There is a big difference. Put it side by side. Think about it anyhow. Fraud is fraud. Fraud is fraud. If financial fraud is being punished, so should paternity fraud be punished. I want to believe that people in government can listen to what I am saying and then take actions. We need actions based on this in every country because it is happening all over. I was shocked to even see a Chinese couple crying. I am shocked. I was shocked to see that. There they are allowed to have only 1 or 2 children. That one child, the woman brought it from somewhere else and then gave it to the man. In the case where the man is having problems having children, that could even be understandable. Maybe you went out to bring that child because your husband cannot make children. But why would you go make a child outside for a man who is able and who can have children? Why will you do that? Eh? If you don't love these men, leave. Let them be. Let them be. You have courage to go outside. Please be courageous enough to let the man know the baby I'm carrying in marriage does not belong to you. Yes. Now, I watched a video. There is this Nigerian comedian called Nedu Wazobia. He had this kind of problem. People laughed at him because he's somebody who is very mouthy. He speaks lackadaisically in public. He insults people. So when this thing actually happened to him and then he came out to talk about it, people jeered and laughed at him. But I was keen to follow the story. Actually, I don't know how he managed to discover, but I know there was a DNA test done somewhere and then he discovered the child was not his own. In a podcast where his wife was interviewed, I mean, everybody was watching that podcast. His wife was being interviewed. She said that she doesn't know why her husband was happy that she was pregnant. Did she tell him that the baby was for him? That it was his problem if he went gallivanting and celebrating that his wife was pregnant and is about to give birth or just gave birth? That she did not lie. Her husband did not ask her who the author of the pregnancy was. And I was like, what? What is my ear hearing? What did she just say? You're married to a man. You're living in that man's house. You have given birth for that man before. That man has paid your bride price. You have signed a marriage certificate with that man and the two of you are living together. Now you're pregnant, he takes care of you until you give birth. Now when they discover that that child did not belong to him, They interview you to ask you what happened. You said that the man was on his own. You did not announce to him that the pregnancy was his own. So who the hell was the author of that pregnancy? And why did you not inform this man that you could get pregnant outside marriage? Why? I'm categorically telling the female folks here today that your cup is full. Enough. Enough. Every man listening to me right now, go home and do paternity test for all your children. Be sure that the men and women you are raising in love are your children. Be sure that the children are from your own loins. Be sure that you are the biological parents of those children. Otherwise, this thing will not stop. Remember that when you stay quiet when crime is being committed, then you are complying to that crime. I am not a party to that. In as much as I am a woman, I cannot phantom that. I do not appreciate that. Imagine you are a parent of a young man. This young man gets married and has, say, 3, 4, 5 children. You go over as the grandmother to carry these children, 3 of them, 5 of them, and bring them to your home and cater for them that they are your grandchildren. And someday you get to discover that none of the children belonged to your son in the first place. I personally will not take that line down. I'm serious here. I'm not going to take that shit. I won't. Why on earth? Why? Why? This thing has happened so often until now people think that it is the new normal. I say no, it is not normal. We must talk about it. It is not normal at all. That is not the normal occurrence of things. That is not it. That is not it. I can't phantom that. I can't accept that. It is wrong. It is so painful. So painful. So painful. At least if you have the courage to go and cheat, have the decency to let your husband know he is not the father of the child you're carrying. To many people in Africa, I know that DNA will be very, very costly. In most countries, you know, the currencies of African countries are very low. So you'd have a DNA done maybe 200, 300, no matter the currency, yes, but it's about that much. The francophone speaking countries are using this franc CFA. A couple of them are using franc CFA. It's about 200,000 franc CFA. That's a whole lot of money. But my brothers out there, sacrifice that money to know who you are raising. Okay? Know who you're raising. Let no woman tell you that the child looks like you. The child looks like the father. The child looks like the father. His nose is just like yours. That is a lie. Raise that 200,000, 300,000 naira, go to the hospital and do a DNA test for your children. Remember they are your children. Remember they are your legacy. Don't stay and keep a legacy that does not actually even belong to you. Don't waste your time raising another man's children. Our parents did it in the past. But this our time, we will not do that. I say no to that. Yes, the women will not be happy with this video, but I don't care. I don't care. It could be my brother. It could be my son. It could be my uncle. And I'll not feel happy about that. I don't want to have a niece or a grandson or granddaughter that actually does not belong to my family member. I want to be related by blood to my family members. I want to be related by blood to my family members. I don't want a nephew who is not related to me by blood. That is fraud. Do the mothers of these children even imagine the kind of psychological damage you're doing to your child when the child gets to know that their parents, their father, that they have always known as this man is my father, turns out not to be their father? That's a break of trust. Lifetime. Imagine at 80, you discover your children you raised are not yours. At 50, you discover the children you raised are not yours. No. It is not a decent thing. It is not a decent thing at all. Guys, I need you to like the video. If you are not following yet, do well to subscribe, all right? I need you to like the video. Our courts are not even helping out. The law is not even helping out. 90% of men with such children in their homes only discover if there is a discrepancy, most of the time because of child support. Because of child support. Because now the court will have to ascertain the paternity of that child before they ask that man to start paying child support. Women, you're not being fair here. You're not being fair. You're being wicked. You're being mean. You can punish your cheating husbands by leaving them. You can punish your cheating husbands by suing them. You can punish your cheating husband by asking them to pay. Yes. But going outside and cheating on them, right up to the extent you bring back home children, is fraud. It's wickedness. Wickedness from a high place. It's demonic. You lie to yourself, you lie to your spouse, you lie to your family, you lie to his family, you lie to your children. It's demonic. Married women, be warned. Be warned. Because you are the major perpetrators of paternity fraud. Married women. For single ladies out there, they may just be trying their luck and unfortunately they fall pregnant because they know that no one is there to marry them at the time, but they need someone to raise their children with. They can lie and tell that man, oh, this is your child, so that that man is going to support them to raise their children. But I'm not saying that this is correct. I'm not saying that this is something people should do, because it is bad. The worst category of women who perpetrate this act are the married ones. Shame on all of them. Shame on all of them. Actually, if any man out there listening to me finds out that he has been raising children that do not belong to him, he should sue that woman in court and claim her of every dime that she has to her name. Yes, sue her for bringing an unwanted child in your home. Sue them. If you have a means to sue the father who is outside, if you're married to that woman, sue him for adultery. Yes, this nonsense must stop. It can only stop if we are sensitized and then we do something. We take action. Sue them. Let them know that a woman went to jail because she committed financial fraud, paternal fraud. If financial fraud is being punishable, paternal fraud should be punishable, because fraud is fraud. Stop confusing people. Stop confusing children. You find a man has children that share no traits with him. No results. What the hell is that? Where did we learn this from? Oh, look at you, the boy is yours. Look at his nose, it looks just like yours. Do not be deceived. Brothers, do not be deceived. Do not trust them. Don't trust them. No matter how loyal a woman is to you, don't trust her. Go out there and do your test. Do your paternity test. It is a must. Even if your children are all grown up, call them home. Call them to come back home. Take their specimen and go to the hospital. Do tests. Do your paternity test. And if you discover that you have any child in your home that does not belong to you, sue their mother. Sue her and take everything she has to her name. Let her go to jail. This rubbish must stop. I was so sad when I began seeing all those videos. I even saw one old man. He's a Nigerian. That man is married. He has 3 children, and then he was trying to explain that he's married to this woman. His friend who went with him to seek for the hand of this woman in marriage was the one actually having an affair with this woman, and together the two of them have 2 children. In that man's house, he has 3 children. One of them is his and 2 are not his own. So when he went to do DNA test for the 3 children, he now discovered that the other 2 belong to his friend. What is that? Go home and do tests. Do DNA for your children. Be sure that you're raising your blood. Be sure that you're raising your own children. Nobody should come and tell me anything church here. I'm not caught up for all of that. That when a woman is married, every child that she bears belongs to the man. No, that is not it. It's wrong. The children that she should be bedding for is the man she is married to, not other men's children in her marital home. No. How would you even feel if this thing I'm talking about happens to your brother? Now I'm asking the married women. What if you go to your brother's house and you realize that his wife has been bringing children from outside into his house? Will you feel comfortable with that? You will not like that. You will not be happy. So why do that to your husbands? I believe that I think that every government should make DNA test mandatory. Everybody should do DNA test, just like you take your vaccines, just like you run tests when you're sick. When the woman is pregnant, they are running malaria tests and typhoid tests and whatever tests, all the blood works. DNA should be included. DNA should be included. This one is going to solve this problem once and for all. We no longer will be raising children that don't belong to us. How can you even imagine that? How? A man goes out there, especially those in Europe, when there is snow, the man is outside digging the snow, breaking his ass out, working double shifts, triple shifts, quadruple shifts just to take care of his family. And in the end, the family he's dying for actually does not belong to him. No, it is bad. It is bad. First of all, men work so hard. They work hard. I see my brothers, I see my uncles. They work really hard. And then they provide for their families. Especially in Africa, back home, at least 75% of married women don't do anything. They just marry them to stay at home and then give birth to children and raise them. They don't do anything. But their husbands go outside there to break their neck, break their backs just to put food on the table. Maybe the people living in the diaspora, in Europe, in America, they do 50-50. But in most families in Africa, it is never 50-50. Never. In Africa, the man takes 100% responsibility, or maybe 80%. 80%. That means he provides for food, he provides for rent, he provides for light, water, provides for everything that the family needs. When the children reach school going age, he pays school fees, pays transportation for the children, does everything. And then you do all of that just to realize someday that that child you have sacrificed so much for is not yours. Even that child will not feel happy about it. Even that child will not be happy about it. Think about it. Just think about it. You have a child at home. That child does not look like you. That child does not share any traits that you have. That child does not behave like you. He doesn't talk like you. He doesn't walk like you. My brother, go and do a DNA test. Go and do a DNA test. Test your children. Test all of them. Even if they have grown up, they are no longer with you at home. Call for them to come home. Take their specimen, carry it to the lab. Go and check to be sure. Stop being mumu people. Stop being fools. You have right to know if you are the father of your children. It can never happen to women. Why? Because nobody's ever going to doubt the maternity of a woman, of a child. If this woman births this child, everybody sees that, yes, this is the mother of this child. That is why in most countries, when a mother wants to travel with her child, they don't question her. But if it is a man traveling with that child, he needs to bring a document to prove that the mother is aware that he is traveling with that child. So do not relent. Do not rely on the fact that people are telling you that that child looks like you. My brother, that child may look like you for all I care. Go and do your DNA test. Be sure that you are not raising another man's child. You do not need a prophet to come and tell you. You do not need God to leave his throne in heaven to come and tell you. All things are possible with the women of today. Everything, as a matter of fact, is possible. So please, brothers out there, I am talking, you're staring, you're looking. Go and do your DNA test. You see paternity fraud, we have to stop it. It is surely going to come to an end. It is about time. If you have 5 children, be sure that the 5 are yours. If you have 3 children, be sure that the 3 are yours. If you are raising or adopting a child by your wife, that is something different. Be aware of the fact that I am not the biological father of this child, but I am raising this child as my own. I am loving this child as my own, but I am aware that biologically I am not his father. Don't raise another man's child because of ignorance, because you're slow, because people tell you that your children look like you, because you love their mother so much. Yes, they say men are cheating, but I believe that women can cheat more than even the men. I believe so. I believe women cheat even more than the men, because they cheat and then they have proof. How do you explain a man going out there, a woman going out there, getting pregnant for another man, come back home with that pregnancy, put to bed, and then give that child to her husband? That is cheating with proof. But most of the time, when the men have children outside, they let the woman know. Even if the woman wants to do whatever she wants to do, but at least she knows that her husband has children outside. But the man will never know that the woman has her own children inside the house just because they are married. This is fraud. As we punish financial fraud, so we should punish paternity fraud. Enough of it. Enough. I don't want to go to my brother's house and I look at his children, carrying them, loving them, taking care of them, and then one day I discover that they are not his children. I am not going to find that funny. I will not appreciate that. That is why I am calling out all the women out there to stop paternal fraud. Enough. There is a lot of romance fraud that is going on already. Nowadays, you never see a woman who tells a man, no, I'm not interested in this relationship. Even if the woman doesn't like the man, she goes with the man. She does everything she's supposed to do. You know, she tries as much as possible to satisfy that man so she can get what she wants. That's romantic fraud. Yes, you lie to a man that you love that man, that you like that man, and then you begin to take stuff from him. Yes, this fraud is everywhere nowadays. I've hardly heard of a young man tell me that he asked a woman out and the woman said no, especially if the young man has means. Why do the women no longer say no? Why do they no longer play hard to get? Nowadays, men don't even spend time toasting women, right? They don't spend time toasting women. You just talk to her, you give her what she wants, and then you go. We now have what is called hookup today. When I was growing up, all those things were not available. All those things, you never get to hear of them. All of that is romance fraud. You find them wanting to get married to a lame man, an ugly man, a blind man, just because they want a better life. That is a fact. That is the world we live in today. Yes, you see a very ugly looking man, you cannot even talk when his wife is coming because his wife is not your level. Why is that? Romance fraud. They are marrying the man for what he has. Now that you have married this man and you don't even like this man, you cannot even bring yourself to beg children for this man. You rush out, you go and meet your ex-boyfriend, take a baby there, and then bring it to the man's house. Now this man is marrying you, providing you with the life that you want, and at the same time raising a child for you and your lover outside. That is fraud. I am not going to condone with that. I am not going to allow that. If you love a man, love him for who he is. If you don't love a man, let that man be. If the man is cheating on you, walk away from the marriage. I don't care how much you have invested in that marriage. If he's not working out, let him be. Go your way, let him also go his way. Don't stay with him. Let him give you the baby girl life that you want. Let him buy you the car that you need, and then you go outside, meet your ex-boyfriend, and then bring your children from him. Let him raise them. Now I am talking. Some women will hate me for saying this, but I stand on the side of truth. Some men will feel that I am not fulfilled. That's why I'm doing this video. I don't care. But my advice to you, go out there. Do a DNA for all your children. If your children are grown-ups and they no longer live with you, call them home. When they come, take specimens. What do you need? Saliva. What do you need? Their hair, their fingernails. Go and do DNA. Be sure that you are raising your own children. Do not raise other people's children when their fathers are out there looking for them, looking out for them. Yes. Let us leave it at the level of romance fraud. Yes, women are the best, they are the highest involved in romance fraud. Let the woman come to you because you have money. Let the woman come to you to eat, to drink, buy her stuff, give her baby girl life that she's looking for. But she crosses the line when she goes out to bring children that are not yours. It is painful. I watched several videos of men crying like children, cry until tears scatter, everything is oozing out from their faces. If these men are bad, that is not the best punishment. You want to punish someone, leave him. You want to punish someone, just go away. You want to punish someone, sue him in court. You don't have to beat him psychologically, morally, physically, financially, and any other way before you know that you have won. By the way, which winning? Robbing a man of love, robbing him from finance, robbing him from morality, robbing everything, taking everything away from him doesn't make you a winner. You are just a bloody loser because you go out there, you bring a child, you don't even have the decency, you don't even have the courage to own up that yes, I went out and I cheated and I came back with a child. Own up. If you want to be a woman, own up with your full chest that yes, I am a married woman and I went outside and I cheated and then I brought a child. Then we'll clap for you. We'll tell you you have won and we are going to give you a trophy. But coming to hide like a sissy, you're just being a coward. So men, do not take this line down. Let no one tell you that that boy looks like you. Let no one tell you that that girl walks like you. Let no one tell you that these children are your children just by looks. People resemble. When people get married, don't they look alike? Don't they look alike? Please, mothers, do not relent. If you have grown-up sons, as their grandmother, go and do DNA test for your grandchildren. I am going to do DNA test for my brother's children. Me, I'll do DNA test for my brother's children without his knowledge. Let me be aware that the children belong to my brother. Aunties out there, go and do DNA for your brother's children. Go and do DNA for your brother's children. Don't be deceived. We now live in a dangerous time. Action must be taken. Don't be deceived. If you have a brother, you are not sure your brother's children are his children. You men, make provision for DNA to be done. Make provision for DNA to be done. Let me tell you something. There is a man who has been deleted because he discovered that all his children, 5 of them, all of them, belong to another person. So when he discovered the lie his wife has been telling him for 25 years of marriage, the wife just deleted him, and that case just ended like that. That's how that man lost his life. So you should know that women can be fatal if they discover that you have known. If they find out that you have discovered their lie, it can be fatal. You can lose your life. Don't be deceived. Don't say I did not warn you. It happened. People are suffering out there. Men break their backs just to feed their family, just to raise their family, and in the end, what do they get? These children do not belong to you. You are sick, you are lying down in the hospital, you need blood donation. They want to do blood transfusion from yourself to your child. It's not possible. From yourself, from your child to you, it's not possible. Why? Your blood group don't match. Just as women go for routine checkup while pregnant, please, DNA should be routine. It should be a routine. When the paternity is established, it should be tested at once. It should be tested. Nobody should go home with any child that he is not sure. You know, at least when they give you a birth certificate or a delivery certificate, a paternity certificate should also be attached to it. Take this very seriously. Otherwise, we will have children who don't know where the children are coming from. When I was much younger, I used to have a friend of mine. She had a brother who steals. This boy can steal like a rat. When this boy comes even to our house, if we are not keen, he gets into the kitchen and then steals meat from the pot. Anything that you keep, this boy wants to steal. You know, one day I sat down and I began to reflect. Those children in their house, there are 4 of them, but only this particular son steals. Then they're a bit fair in their house, only the particular one is dark. And my mind began to tell me that maybe this boy was brought home by the mother, you know. What kind of boy is that? The only reason you will not call that boy a rat is just that he's not having a tail. He can compete with a rat in stealing. I'm telling you, he sniffs around and picks anything he finds. A small boy. So please do not be deceived, brothers. Do not be deceived. I know the pain that comes with it. I know the embarrassment that comes with it. The shame. Hey. I know the shame that comes with it. I know. Some of you have medical problems. You cannot have children by yourself. Please go for treatment. Go for consultation. Consult and know your status. If the doctors cannot treat you, go and do any fertility treatment. If the doctors cannot treat you, they will let you know. Some men are not fertile due to the fact that the woman wants to keep her marriage at all costs, because when, especially in Africa, when people get married and after say 1 year, 2 years, they don't have children, it becomes a problem on the woman. You know, everybody starts looking at the woman like the woman cannot give birth to children, and now that woman will be pushed to go and, you know, bring children from outside so she can hold her home together. So you as a man, take responsibility. Oh, take responsibility. Find out if you have fertility issues. Be sure that you don't have fertility issues. Be sure that you don't have fertility issues. If you know you have fertility issues, tell your wife, talk to your wife. There are some of you with fertility issues, you lie to the woman and then you get married to her. Now, what do you think will happen in that marriage? If the woman really wants to stay in that marriage and children are the problem of that marriage, she will go outside and bring children for you. Some of you will be ashamed to say that you are not a man just because you don't have children. But what you fail to understand is that the woman always is a step ahead of you. Yes. You think that you are smart. Women are smarter these days. A woman is capable of knowing that you are cheating on her and she still stays with you even for 100 years. You will never know. But the moment that she decides to do and undo, you will not be there to tell the story. So be informed. Do not say that I did not tell you. I am telling you here today. If you have fertility issues, discuss it with your wives. Let her know that you cannot have children of your own. Then the two of you now decide on how to solve fertility problem. If your fertility problem is treatable, go to hospital, get a consult, and then find out how you can be treated. Take your complete treatment and then treat and heal yourself from infertility first. But if you know that you are lying, you are going to get married when you are not even fertile, you can't have children, madam is going to harvest it from outside and then you raise those children. You raise them. Now you raise her love children with her boyfriend outside. Just as I was saying, paternity fraud is eating deep among us today, is eating deep in our communities today. Many women are increasingly becoming fraud in their marriages. Yes, they go outside, pick children, bring it inside, and then birth these children to their husband. It is a no. It should be punishable by law. Women should be taking up for that. Women should be locked up. They should be jailed for committing paternity fraud. Paternity fraud should be a crime. It should be included. It should be a crime so that we can control it, so that we can stop it. There's no way we are going to control paternity fraud if we don't control it. Yes, that is what I said. And DNA is a must. If you already have grown-up children, call them to come back home. Do your due diligence and know who you're raising. Be sure not to be raising children for another man. Be sure to be the father of your children. If you decide to adopt children, that is a whole different ball game. If you decide to adopt, it is different. If you decide to raise a single mother's children, that is different. But don't go about raising children thinking that they are your children when they don't belong to you. I know how men work hard. I know how they break their backs out there just to put food on the table. I know how it is. Then for a man to discover in the end that the children he raised are not his, that is bad. As always, I don't know what your comments are. Drop them at the comment section. If you have been watching from the beginning, thank you so much for watching. If you are not following my channel or my page, please do so. Follow my channel or my page for more updates. This is Contemporary Views and my name is Jillian. I bring you fresh information, fresh trends, anything that is making news, I bring it to you. And if there are updates, I still come back. Now, I did a video on this paternity fraud. On that video, I attached many videos of men crying out. Some people say that men don't cry. No. For the fact that you don't see them shed tears in public doesn't mean that they don't cry. In that video, you would see 8 men crying for what women have done to them. Their crying was legit. Their complaint was legit. They too are human. They too can cry. And now, Let me leave you with this advice, brothers. Sometimes cry. When you are hot, cry. When you are in pain, cry. I say what? Cry. Like a baby, cry. When you cry, it eases the tension. Some of you have heart attacks because you bottle up all the emotions. You bottle up, you're trying to be a man. My brother, being a man sometimes does not help. If you need to cry, please cry. Cry very well, okay? There's no harm in crying. There's no shame in crying. You're just being human there. Yes, nobody should deceive you that men don't cry. Men cry, oh, they do cry very well. They cry. Now, in that video I uploaded this morning, I have 8 men, 8 of them crying in that video. I have short clips of them. One, he was 53 years before discovering that his children are not, his marriage was 53 years, he was 80 years, and his marriage 53 years before he discovered the children in his marriage did not belong to him. The other one, it was a 28-year-old marriage. Then the man discovered they were not his children. Then there's a 35-year-old marriage. They discovered the children were not his children. So don't be that kind of man. Don't be a victim here. Women always try to cry out and be the victim. No, in this case, they are not the victim. They are the perpetrators in this case. So do not be deceived. If you have children, go and do DNA test for your children and be sure that these children are yours. Well, I don't know what your thoughts are on this matter. Whatever you have to say, put it at the comment section. Thank you so much for those of you who have been watching the video from the beginning. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you so much, and see you on my next live. My love to you on Facebook, YouTube. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I need to go. Thank you so much, and see you on my next live. Bye.